Hello, my name is Richard. This is my Spooky Halloween film. My terror Halloween made the film is from Terrorist Trust, a fan Kirklees TV filming it. I like do something. The places in Huddersfield where spooky stories. I visit them. I buy me spooky places. My favourites are Longley Hall, like Deadmanstone, films the stories.
It all seems to be a little confusing, but the popular belief is that the stone acquired its name as being a place where, before there were local parish churches, the mother church was at Almondbury. And so anybody living in the home valley, their coffin had to be carried through Berry Brow to get to Almondbury, and the stone was like a resting place, for the pallbearers.
I've lived here since 1968.
I've also heard about people returning home and finding that their gas taps were turned on when they hadn't been in the house.
This is many years ago. One of my neighbours had a boy and a girl, children, and they'd grown up, and the daughter had gone out for the weekend, and the son was at home, gone to bed, and he thought that his sister had come into his bedroom because there was a very, very heavy smell of perfume.
In the space there, a chapel was built, a Methodist chapel. I think the land was provided by the owner of Deadmanstone house. The chapel lasted for quite a long time, and then subsequently it was knocked down and replaced by houses, which again were knocked down in the mid-1960s.
One particular night I heard them shouting "Mum," and I came across the landing to the point of turn towards their bedroom, and it was just like a wall of ice, and I put my hands up and it was as if I couldn't get through. Maybe only momentarily, but you don't know, do you, when you're in the middle of the night and what have you. Can't explain it in any other way.
I'm just open-minded.
The house dates back to approximately 1350, 1400, so it makes it about 700 years old.
The first record we found of people living here, a family called Wood, was in 1330, and we have traced another name back to the late 1290s of the same person of the same name who may have lived here. The Wood family lived here till 1540, and then it passed by marriage to a family called Ramsden, who then came to live here. They owned all of Huddersfield, and they didn't live here very long. They moved off to much better estates over near Ferrybridge, but they kept ownership of it till about 30 years ago, and they sold it, and we bought it from the people they sold it to.
One instance, I'd gone for a lie down in the afternoon. We were working late at night, and I heard all the doors opening and shutting. Yeah. So Robin said he was coming home from work early, so he was going to have a lie down. So I thought, oh, well, he's here. So after a while I shouted him and nobody there. So I went back to bed, and then I heard the doors again. And I thought, I wonder if somebody's broken in, and they heard me calling for Robin, and so they hid. So I came down again, went into the kitchen and noticed that the cooker was on. An electric cooker, and the knobs had been turned, and as I walked past I could feel all the heat coming from the cooker. So turned all the knobs off, went back upstairs. I'd looked round, there was nobody there, no break-ins, no doors open or anything. Came back down and the cooker was back on again.
Our carpet fitter many years ago saw a ghost in here. This is the woman from the waist downwards, and he was kneeling on the floor and he thought he was talking to Christine, and when he turned round he saw this woman didn't have the body, and he rushed out of the room, and it took us 3 months to get him back to finish off putting the carpets down.
I've not actually seen a ghost, but I'm quite sensitive and I can go in a room and sometimes I feel there is a presence there. Yeah. We had an open day a while ago, and there was a lady who'd been on the tour, and she said, well, I'm a spirit medium and I've not seen anything. So I said, well, they're not in the rooms we've been in. So she said, oh, may I go in the room where they are then? So I took her upstairs to the bedroom and opened the door and said to her, come in. And she said, hello, hello. And I just looked, you see, and she was speaking to these people. And she said, oh, there's 2 women here. So I then came downstairs, went into the kitchen, and she said, do you know one of the ladies has followed you down?
I was working in the room above the kitchen. Downstairs the burglar alarm was on. Christine was tucked up in bed fast asleep, and I was doing some painting in that room, and I heard footsteps on the flagstones down below in the kitchen, and I thought, well, why? What's happened? Did I forget to put the burglar alarm on? Have we got an intruder? So I went downstairs, the burglar alarm was still on, and there was no one there. All the doors were closed. And when we were doing some archaeological work a few months later, we found that the location of where these footsteps started was from a door that had been lost. So they didn't come from the door that's there now in the kitchen, they came from a door that had been removed many, many hundreds of years ago. If you imagine none of these walls in position, this would have been a large open space. The ceiling wouldn't have been here, so if you'd looked up you'd see the roof trusses and the big heavy stones up on the roof, and there would have been an open fire further this way in what's now the kitchen, and it would have been a really dirty, smelly, horrible place to live, and nothing romantic at all about medieval or Tudor lifestyle. This panel, which is a quotation from one of St. Peter's epistles, was found between the floor in sometime in the early 1800s, and it was put up on the wall, and this was made again in the late 1500s.
Things happen, and it would depend how sensitive you are, I would suppose, as to what you pick up and what you don't pick up.
Whatever is in the house is benign. There's no negativity from them.
A friend of mine came and she was taking photographs of the wall there because of the importance of the wall, and then when the photographs were developed, it's a long time ago when we had proper photographs, there was what's known as orbs on the photographs, and they are supposed to be, or set to be, the development of the spirits.
There's no negativity from them, so we feel happy with it, and it's a very happy house.
I wrote you like spooky films. I thank Brooksbank, the Film Nation, like Deadmanstone, like Robin and Christine, Longley Hall, and Kirklees TV. Bye.
Huddersfield.